Hey, fellow founders, welcome to the regular weekly update on Founder University. Week 11 coming to a close. One official week left in Founder University, and then that is a wrap of the kind of core 12-week part of the program. As mentioned in my previous video last week, we can, of course, continue to be involved in the Founder University community. Have access to the platform that they use for engaging with the community, which is on Circle. And then there's also the upcoming opportunity to pitch to the Founder University and broader launch team, and potentially, if you're one of the select few who are chosen, go on to pitch to Jason Calacanis himself. So this week was a great week, actually. I really enjoyed the talk from a guy called Craig Zingerlein, who's one of the co-founders of Velocity Growth. Basically, my understanding is it is a platform that actually started within launch and then kind of spun out. And yeah, it was all things growth and sales and marketing and tactics. And again, like a lot of the time when you watch these things, it's not anything that's completely new. But the way Craig articulated a lot of the approach and the thought behind it, I thought was really insightful, really positive kind of approach to how do you just get started, right? And yeah, I just loved kind of how he put those things together. And for me, like thinking about some of the outbound activities I've done with previous startups. I had tried or have used LinkedIn in the past, and there used to be some tools that I used to automate that. And Craig just kind of went through the tools that he uses today. So Phantom Buster being one, Apollo being another. And to me, that's a great time saver because, it was on the to-do list of things that I wanted to get back around to, like how can I leverage LinkedIn better? How can I start doing some cold email outreach, how can, all these things that I know I'm going to want to do. And yeah, basically the hour-long session probably saved me 3 or 4, 5 hours of research to go and kind of look into what are the best tools for doing that today. Because as I said, I probably did this last time about 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, like to me, it was really beneficial. And I think the other thing that really stood out was, Craig was talking about, how quickly you see results from a lot of these different strategies. And I think that's really important because in my experience, sometimes people who are maybe new to startups or new to being founders, they think, oh, well, hey, I'm just going to turn on some LinkedIn ads or turn on some Google ads and immediately get results. And it's like, no, you need to understand the different platforms and the different types of ads that work for them, right? Like the common one is, on Google, it's more of an intent-based search. Like someone might be searching what is the best X, and you can target that keyword and have your ad show up. Whereas if someone's on LinkedIn or Facebook, you they haven't actually said that they're interested in something. So you're trying to use the information that you have and go, okay, I know my product is typically purchased by females between the ages of 30 and 39 who live in this type of area and have fit this type of demographics. But it's a different process. And same thing with content marketing, right? You don't just write a blog and then tomorrow you all of a sudden have, hundreds of people on your website ready to go. So I really like that Craig kind of talked about not only the marketing tactics, but like the different time frames and the different approach that you need to take with all of these channels. Outside of that was the midweek check-in, as usual, where we got to hear a couple of pitches, which is always cool. I love hearing from other people's other founders and seeing what they're working on. And then Charlie was around to answer quite a few questions that people had. So it's always good just to kind of get that inside line. Kind of peels back the curtain a little bit and gives you a bit of kind of insight in terms of how Charlie thinks, how Founder University and the launch team approach things, what Jason thinks. And earlier in the week, I actually did share I should actually go back to that here on the computer. I did share a blog post, or not blog post, a post in the community saying that if you are in Founder University, you should go and listen to This Week in Startups, episode 1079. Jason interviews a guy called Daniel Gross from Pioneer, which is a program for early stage startups. And if you listen to that, it's almost like you're sitting in on a meeting where Jason's kind of starting to work out like what Founder University should be like, because they talk about this whole idea of like, let's give 1% for 25K, which is what it is at Founder Uni. And then, how do you kind of build that over time to take a bigger stake in these companies? How do you find these startups early by having this program and then build a bigger stake over time? So yeah, I really encourage you to listen to that episode. And then the other thing that I think was really cool was that, a couple of weeks back I shared my pitch in the Circle platform and just said, hey, anyone can give me feedback. Like that's cool. And now they've kind of created a thread for other people to share their pitches as well on Loom. So I've been watching a couple this evening actually and provide a little bit of feedback. Might be helpful, might not be, who knows. But yeah, it's always good to kind of see what other people are working on and be able to share a little bit of insight, especially if it aligns with something that I've seen or done before. I think I've mentioned a couple of times in these videos that, I have mentored startups at the University of Sydney. We saw pitches and that kind of thing. So I love it. I really love pitching. I think it's, just kind of like this just this raw emotional approach kind of thing. Not emotional, that's the wrong word, but like, it really is the crux of everything that you do, right? Like you've got a short amount of time to basically share why you believe in this idea and what you're doing and what you're trying to solve. And yeah, I just love it. Even in my day job, in kind of sales and sales management, I love meeting customers, and the part I love most about meeting customers is essentially when you get to pitch them and be like, here's why you should listen to me. Here's why you should be buying our solution. I love all that stuff. So it's cool to see that. Anyway, we'll wrap it there for this week. That's week 11 done and dusted at Founder University. Oh, one final thing. Yeah. One of the other things that I think is really cool just to point out is that if you involve yourself in the community, you're going to get, you're going to see benefit. And I had someone reach out who saw my pitch and they're like, hey, that looks like a potential solution for our startup. We'd love to kind of have a chat and learn more. So yeah, hopefully you have that call later on this week. And you never know. Your customers could be in the Founder University cohort. So share. That's the main lesson. Catch ya in the next one. Thanks all.